Welcome folks to the Somnium VR1. This is a comfort test, an endurance test. So I'm going to be in the headset for around 2.5 to 3 hours. And this is a continuation as well of my UK to US ferry flight in the Turbine Duke. At the moment, as I'm taking off from Denver Airport, the frame rate is absolutely atrocious. That's nothing to do with the headset. I think I've got my FS traffic set too high. I've got like 1,000 AI planes. I'm getting, at the moment it's 20 frames per second, so I'm going to try and keep my view centered the best I can. And once we take off, the performance will definitely get better. Yeah, something's gone a bit wrong here with this airport, so let's just take off. I've already been in the headset for over half an hour because the Turbine Duke is a study level aircraft and I've been setting it all up for this flight. So this is the final version of the Somnium VR1, the final version. And there's a lot of things to cover in this video in terms of the comfort. Some things are bad news, some things are very good news. And the eagle-eyed viewer will probably already notice that, if you can see on the left-hand side, me flying, that the strap I have on the Somnium VR1 at the moment is not stock. I'll explain all that in a moment, but let's first get on our merry way, get to our cruise altitude of only 9,000 feet, as we say goodbye to Canada, bound for Chicago. So we really are motoring along now, and I've got 20 hours in the Turbine Duke now, in this particular version anyway, with this engine, and she's been purring like a kitten. So I'll see you a bit further up the road, and we'll get into the comforts and everything of the final version of the Somnium VR1. Bad Boy Edition. Just to say, this video is proudly sponsored by FS Academy, and they've got a new bundle called Zero to Hero, which offer 5 training packs in one package. That is IFR, VFR, Jetliner, Navigator and Commander. Priced at $69.99, this represents roughly around 40% discount from the full lineup, with a total of 60 training missions produced by a real-world airline captain. All the links for FS Academy will be in the description below. Anyway, it's now time to get into today's video. Right then, so welcome back. We're currently at cruise, which is only about 9,000 feet. And I've taken this very Turbine Duke you're seeing before your eyes from the UK across to the Faroe Islands, then Iceland, then Greenland, into Canada, bound for the US. And this is our final leg to Chicago. I feel quite proud of that, especially as this is a living and breathing model. Things can go wrong, you need to look after it. And that's, to me, what flight simming is all about, that adventure. So it's great to do the final leg in the final Somnium VR1. So here's the bad and the good regarding the comfort. Keep in mind, I am using the full Ultimate Edition VR1. This has high quality mixed reality pass-through, hand tracking, eye tracking, everything you'd expect and imagine in a top tier headset. This has it, and it's a phenomenal headset, the best flight simulation headset currently on the market for the consumer space, without a shadow of a doubt. The image in this thing is so crystal clear, pardon the pun, it really is, even though it shares the same panel as the Crystal. The lenses, the field of view, the sweet spot, the brightness and the NVIDIA sharpening all add up to create a really clean and crisp image. But anyway, the comfort. So I have been using the default strap for quite a while this last week, and even though it has improved and the hinges are stiffer, which sort of definitely helps keep the front of the headset where it needs to be, after about an hour I still feel like I'm getting uncomfortable with it, unfortunately. Now I really want to drive home an important point here. This is just my opinion based upon my head shape, my preferences for VR. You know, what might feel comfortable for me might not feel comfortable for you. And in terms of the standard head strap, it seems quite a few people don't mind the standard head strap, but for me it's just far too uncomfortable because of the design of the headset, which I've mentioned loads of times before. It's that the fact that this is a dual lens design, it sticks out your head a lot more, which means that the weight is hanging over your face, creating that perceived heaviness. So I thought I would try a new head strap. I'll show you a few shots now of the Bobo VR M2 Pro, I think it's called. And let me tell you, this has made a massive difference to me. Especially if you put the battery on the back as if you were using it as a wireless headset. That acts as a really nice counterbalance, pushing the back of the headset upwards. And so far I have... Oops, I've just realised my transponder is off. So far I've tried a 2-hour session with this thing, and I felt absolutely fine in it. I mean, you know, having said that, there is a caveat to that. Because of all the sensors, this does, you know, it feels heavy still. It's a heavy headset. There's no getting away from that. But that's the price you pay for these visuals. Now, there are different versions of the Somnium VR1, and of course, if you just went for the version with eye tracking, which I definitely would recommend at the, you know, bare minimum, then it will be a lot lighter than this. But if I had to choose, and I did choose, the Ultimate Edition simply because what this headset does when it has all the features added is just astonishing. I love how I can mix my desktop with my real-world surroundings. I love how I can make a mask of my cockpit, which I will show you at some point. I have shown that in previous videos, but I'm going to show you it even better soon. I think the Ultimate Edition is what sets it apart from all of the rest of the headsets. It's incredible what this thing can do. But you do obviously pay the price, which does mean it is a slightly heavier headset. But it's all about balance. I say this all the time. A headset can be quite heavy, but if it's nice and balanced on your head, it's not an issue. So with the Bobo VR head strap, this is definitely making a difference to me. Now, this is another thing. If you don't mind the headset squashed to your eyeballs, because I know a lot of you don't mind having the headset tight to your face, then the original strap is absolutely fine for that. I basically like to feel no pressure at all on my face, but you might be different. So again, please bear in mind this is a personal preference. And yeah, it's made a huge difference, it really has. So here's another thing, right, that I have modded to my Somnium VR1 to make it more comfortable. I personally feel that the standard facial interface, sorry, the facial foam rather, isn't big enough, especially at the top. It just doesn't give you enough support. So, ironically, and artwork, you're probably going to kill me for saying this, but never mind, this is my opinion on things. I've actually used a Studio Form facial foam from the Pimax Crystal, and I've added it onto the Somnium VR1. I'll show you a shot now. It's the fabric wide field of view sort of thinner version, and it fits the Somnium VR1 perfectly. And this for me has made the comfort even better, because now it feels really comfortable on my face, because the Studio Form facial foam, it feels so silky, really comfortable, and it just gives me that added support on the forehead. So with that and the Bobo VR head strap, I can finally say that the comfort of the Ultimate Edition VR1 is not an issue for me at all anymore. And I can't tell you how glad I am to say that, because this headset, the visuals, the whole package with this headset, I absolutely love it. Now, I know what you're probably going to say, and you could argue the fact that if you're spending £3,500–4,000 on a premium VR headset that you shouldn't need to mod it. But keep in mind, as I've said before, the standard head strap might be fine for you. I've always complained about the comfort of the Somnium VR1. I know many people don't, but I personally have an issue with it. But this is the route I've gone to sort out that comfort. Now I am also tempted to try the Vive Deluxe audio strap, because then it will give me audio, but I don't know if the head strap itself will be able to support the headset like the Bobo VR strap does. But if you're interested in that video, I will buy it. It's about 80 quid, but I don't mind buying it, and I'll test out that head strap as well. But what this essentially means at the end of the day is that now I can use a Somnium VR1. Well, I know I can use it for 2 hours. I'm going to go for 3 hours today. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I sometimes have to fiddle around with it, maybe just push it up a little bit, just do what I just did there, then I'm fine again for the 20 minutes. It's not like I, just plonk it on my head and then leave it for 3 hours. And I would recommend, guys, just to take a break from VR for 20 seconds every... What do they say? The eye doctors recommend something. I think every 20 minutes, take the headset off and look at something far away for 20 minutes. Well, I never do that, and to be honest, in the VR1, the image is so nice on the eyes, I don't think you need to do that with this. But I would say maybe after about an hour, just take it off, look at your phone, just chill out for a minute, pet your dog, and then put it back on again. Then you're good to go for another hour. This isn't a big screen Beyond, okay? And I love that headset, by the way. I love the Beyond as well. And if, like me, you want the best image quality, amazing field of view, and all those other extras, hand tracking, eye tracking, the mixed reality pass-through, which is all at a touch of a button here, the best software in the business, the best build quality in the business, then it is the Somnium VR1. But you might have to just mess around and get the comfort level to your liking, depending on which headset you get, as I say. So what I'm going to do, folks, is check back in with you as we get on our approach to Chicago. And looking at the time, I'm looking at my desktop now, I've been in the headset for about an hour and 25 minutes. And we've got another 34 minutes to go. That will nicely get us to about 2 hours. Then I'm going to fly somewhere else. And then I'll check back in with you again when I get to the 3 hour mark to see how it feels. So thank you if you got this far. If you want to see the conclusion of the 3 hour test, then I'll see you a bit further up that way, which actually looks a bit cloudy. Hopefully the weather's going to be okay. See you in a bit. So welcome back. We're now only 10 minutes away from our destination, which is Chicago, and it feels quite an achievement to go all the way from the UK to the US. And the idea was that I'm taking this aircraft to its new owner, although awkwardly I've decided I'm going to keep it. So when he goes to collect his new aircraft, he's going to be really excited, but I'm just going to say to him, I'm really sorry, but I've decided that I'm not going to give it to you because I love it so much. So I guess it turns out that I really shouldn't be a ferry flight pilot, because I've just fallen in love with every aircraft I've been in, especially when you have to take it across the cold Atlantic Ocean. But in this particular case, the Turbine Duke, this is my favourite aircraft in MSFS. Easily. It is pure joy to fly. And according to Melissa, because she just told me, I've now been in a headset for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, interesting. To be fair, I feel fine, so I'm now in unknown territory, because I haven't gone past that 2 hour mark, and I do feel fine. It's all about that balance. I'm telling you, folks, it's not about how heavy a headset is, it's how balanced it is on your head. So this is looking good for the Somnium VR1, I must say. I mean, it's never going to win, you know, the most comfortable headset award. Definitely not. That honour goes to the Big Screen Beyond, and funny enough, the Vario XR4, I still feel that headset is supremely comfortable. It really is. I think, you know, that strap on the Vario is sublime. They've just done a fantastic job with the overall design of the comfort of that thing. But now that I've modded this with the Bobo VR head strap, the M2 Pro, and if I remember, I'll just stick an Amazon link in the notes below. I'm not sponsored by Bobo VR or anything like that. I bought it myself. I actually did change the padding on the back, because you have an option of having like these little rubber inserts, and they cut the back of my head better because I have loads of hair. Without it, it just kind of starts to push forward again and kind of slip down. But with that, it kind of grabs the back of my head and it just stays there. So that's really good as well. Anyway, we're getting very close now. We're getting very close. I'll just go into heading mode. But you know, one thing I will mention about comfort, that does extend to the eyes. I do feel part of the comfort factor for VR headsets is how do your eyes feel in VR when you're doing a 3-hour session. And for that, the VR1 does score very highly indeed, because the binocular overlap is excellent, means you get no eye strain at all, and of course the lenses, the sweet spot, it's just really sharp for your eyes. And I do feel that has to be mentioned as a massive positive for comfort, because it's nothing worse than being in VR and you fancy a real good session, but you just, you know, your eyes kind of start to strain, or you feel a little bit groggy. Don't feel like that at all in the VR1. I'm not sure you can see that down there, guys, but that's Chicago. Very nice. My frame rate today is still not very good. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with the VR1, it's just sod's law because I'm recording. I feel like something's off with the sim today. Like it's just not performing like it normally does. But that can happen. Now I think it's important for me to tell you that I'm not having great performance in the sim today, because it does happen to me as well. It's not like I'm immune to it. With all the VR settings guys in the world, sometimes the sim just has a bad day. I'm just getting barely 30 frames per second at the moment. I mean, admittedly, I am in a heavy area, but it's not usually that bad, and I'm getting a bit of flickering. Not sure if that is the electrical system of the Duke. Are we going to get our first failure as we finish our ferry flight? Is that a flickering of the electrical system, or is that a bug? Is that some sort of weird issue with the sim? Because the shadows look crap, don't they, really? Like, I can't wait to see what MSFS 2024 is going to be like. Yeah, no, it is. Actually, we're getting our first failure in the Duke. But yeah, I can't wait to see what MSFS 2024 looks like in the Somnium VR1 as well. But we are getting some flickering with the panel lighting. Ha! That's amazing. We're getting, yeah, it's definitely some sort of battery issue. Well, I'm glad we're about to make our final approach. Maybe I will sell this Duke after all, and I won't tell the new owner. Oh yeah, we're now down to 27 frames per second. Wow, I haven't been this low on frame rate for a very long time, so something is off here with the sim. But nevertheless, we're going to get down, hopefully in one piece here. So, prop fully forward. Landing lights are now on. Pitot heat, we can take them off now, actually. Oil doors open. Wing pumps are now in the on position. Photogrammetry looking absolutely stunning. Using the CLS 60 force feedback yoke, which I managed to attach to my Dofrel TH2. Don't know how I've managed to do that without it something going very badly wrong, because my DIY skills aren't great, but I managed to do it somehow using an aluminium plate. You can see there's a CRJ. We're going to go underneath him. I'm sure this is completely legal and totally safe. That has got his flaps fully down there. Oh, frame rate is terrible now. 25 frames per second. It must be this area as well. is causing such a slowdown. Isn't it amazing what difference a decent strap on a headset makes? And I have noticed that I'm still getting some plosives on the mic, so it's still work needs to be done there in terms of the software. The mic itself sounds fantastic, but for some reason with my voice it picks up my P's quite badly. And I'm not shouting or anything, I've made sure just to talk in a normal tone, and yeah, it seems to be picking them up a little bit. Right, gear coming down. Look at that rainbow there. Beautiful. Love the sounds of this thing. Right, flaps coming down. Here we go then. We're about to set foot on US soil for the first time with our Duke. And we're hitting 22 frames per second. Oh, this is awful. Trying to keep my head still for the recording best I can. Here we go then. Ooh. But you know what? I am happy with that. Landing with such low frame rate is never easy. And the reason why I was able to do that is because I am literally a flight sim hardcore nerd who's been doing it pretty much all his life. So I'm used to low frame rate, guys, you know. In the old days with like FS95 and FS98, which actually was quite a good sim. Then FS 2020, do you remember that? If you are old enough to remember that sim, I think most of us tried to take off from Chicago in the Concorde at 2 frames per second. But here we are, we've made it. We have made it. And now I need to tell the sad news to the guy who's really looking forward to getting his new Turbine Duke that sorry, but I've decided to keep it for myself. I'm going to fly it back to the UK. That is a gorgeous rainbow. Fantastic. Isn't VR just the most amazing, magical thing? You know, I think part of why I love VR is 'cause it makes me feel like a kid. To me, it still feels like magic. Right, so that completes a 2.5 hour session in the Somnium VR1. I need to now do something else for half an hour. But I'm feeling alright, guys. I mean, I can feel that the headset there's weight to it, do you know what I mean? But because it's balanced, it feels fine. It feels absolutely fine now. There's no way I'd have made it to 2.5 hours with the standard strap. Just absolutely no way. By now, I would have really felt the weight on my neck, and especially on my face more than anything else, because I don't like it squashed up to my face. With this, it kind of floats above my nose a little bit, and I just prefer that style. You might be different though, as I said before. Right, battery coming off now. And what I might do is probably explore the US now I'm here for a bit longer. So if you're interested in more Turbine Duke videos, let me know. But for now, it's time to disembark. And since we've got about another half an hour to go, I'll probably just go and jump in a discovery flight so we can get to that magic 3-hour mark. See you in a bit. Right then, so welcome to Egypt. It's amazing the distance you can cover in this sim, isn't it? So I've now just surpassed 3 hours in the Somnium VR1 Ultimate Edition. Bearing in mind, as I say, there are different versions available that are lighter than this, but I'm so glad that I've finally been able to sort out the comfort of this headset, because that was the thing that was really concerning me the most. But with this, funny enough, ironically, Pimax facial foam from Studio Form, together with this Bobo M2 strap, it has absolutely sorted this headset for me. And just in time too, because MSFS 2024 is around the corner, and to experience it in this headset, I am so excited for it. I cannot wait, because this already looks phenomenal. It really does. And to think the new 50 series graphics cards are around the corner as well, it's going to be one hell of a start to 2025 and one hell of an ending to 2024. So thank you if you have got this far in the video, and I'm glad to say, as a conclusion, that the Somnium VR1 Ultimate Edition, you can absolutely, for me anyway, fly 3 hours or more with the modifications I've made to it. Bearing in mind though, that the standard strap might be okay for you. That's it folks, thank you for watching, please feel free to subscribe, I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.